Hello and welcome. In this section you will learn what indices are and how you can profit from trading with indices. An index is no commodity in itself that can be traded physically. Instead, it can be described as a kind of basket that includes a certain number of financial instruments, such as individual shares. This basket has a value and is given a virtual price according to a particular formula. So consequently, the price movement of the index reflects the combined change in price of all financial instruments included. Sounds complicated? It's very simple in fact. For example, in the stock index Dow Jones Industrial Average, you will find 30 of the largest publicly owned companies in the United States. The price of the Dow Jones Index is constantly calculated by reflecting the price movement of all 30 shares included in the index. So instead of having to decide for one particular share, you can also decide to speculate on the price movement of the whole index. Important indices such as the London Financial Times Index 100, the Standard & Poor's 500, the German DAX, the Nasdaq 100, or the Japanese Nikkei are often considered early indicators of the economic climate. With Warren Gold Bank FX, you can trade many of these important indices and thus speculate on entire markets. Tradable instruments are, for example, the DAX 30, the Nasdaq 100, or the Dow Jones Industrial Average. As mentioned before, indices cannot be traded directly. In order to trade indices, we have to make use of another type of derivative. With the Warren Gold metatrader, you can trade all important indices as a CFD on the respective index future. Index futures are derivatives with an integrated multiplier. As a consequence, the value of a futures contract represents a multiple of the price of the index at any given time. For example, if you trade a DAX futures contract, you are actually purchasing 25 times the value of the current DAX quote in euro. In other words, if you trade one contract and the price of the DAX futures moves only one single point, your account will actually change in the amount of 25 euros. One of the biggest advantages of the index CFDs as offered by Warren Gold Bank FX is the fact that you are able to trade only a fractional amount of the actual futures contract. That means for you that you can trade 0.5 DAX contracts, so 1 point in the DAX would not equal to 25 euros, but instead to 12.50 euros. By the way, the size of your position is variable. The smallest unit you can trade is 0.01 contracts. A 1 point movement in the DAX in this case equates to just 25 cents. This is a big advantage, especially for clients trading with smaller accounts. Here's one example for you. Let's assume the DAX is quoting at 8,000 points. With 25 euros per point, that equates to a contract value of 200,000 euros. But you only have a trading account with equity in the amount of 1,000 euros and you don't want to enter such a big risk. You decide to only enter a trade with 0.01 DAX contracts, which is a hundredth of a standard DAX futures contract. In that case, you actually move a contract value of 2,000 euro, also a hundredth of the value of the original DAX futures contract. The leverage factor resulting from the ratio of the contract value and your equity is 2. How small the risk for this trade really is can be seen by the fact that you only have to use a margin of 20 euros and that your position changes its value in the small amount of 25 cents per 1 point movement in the DAX future. Now, for the beginning, that's perfect, especially if you want to learn trading indices. But please always remember, every futures contract has an integrated multiplier. Every point in the DAX futures contract means a 25 euro change on your account. In the Dow Jones futures contract, 1 point movement equates to a lesser $5 change on your account. So, the value that you actually move in the market varies according to the index you choose for your trading. On our website, you'll find a detailed list with specifications for all future contracts that you can trade with the Vanguard MetaTrader. In most cases, the margin deposit for index CFDs is 1%, so you can leverage your own capital with a factor of 100. If you need any further information, check out the client area of our homepage or feel free to contact us at any time. Thank you.